90 degrees in this direction, somewhere here. So now see what has happened because of all this. There was a shaft, and on that shaft there were three masses. And these three masses at certain distances, they were rotating and they were experiencing centrifugal forces F1, F2 and F3 at these three different points on the shaft. On the shaft, in three different points, three forces were acting. Now what we have learned by this concept, transferring the mass in the reference plane, according to what we have learned, what we have done is, instead of saying that these different forces are acting at different points, we say that there are same three forces F1, F2, F3 acting like this, F1 here, F2 here and F3 here, and three couples C1, C2 and C3 acting on the same shaft in the reference plane. So just try to understand what we have done. Three forces here is same as three forces in one plane plus and three couples also in the same plane. And that we have done by whatever is discussed earlier. Now because of this, what has happened now? Because of this, now the problem is equivalent to saying that there are three forces acting at one point and there are three couples acting at one point. So if you remember what was B, this is C1, what was B? B was a case where we saw how to balance multiple masses in the same plane. If in the same plane there are multiple masses, how to balance them? What we have done? We have drawn the centrifugal forces of all the 3, 4, 5, whatever masses are there, and the balance mass was added. Suppose there are 5 masses, so 5 centrifugal forces. We have added balance mass which will cause the 6th force. So 5 plus 1, 6 forces are such that together these 6 forces will make a closed polygon. So when the polygon is closed, that means the net result of all the 6 forces is 0. So the balance force which was added has done the function of balancing all the 5 plus 1, 6 forces. That is what we have learned in B. Now here same thing can be done because there are 3 forces. All the 3 forces are in the same plane. So you can easily balance them by adding some balance mass. Similarly, there are 3 couples which will again cause some unbalanced couple, but that unbalanced couple also we can balance by adding a balance mass which will balance the couples also. So whatever unbalance is existing in this reference plane, that unbalance will be balanced. So unbalance caused by forces and unbalance caused by couples can be balanced by adding 2 masses, one for force, one for couple. Basically, all the 2 masses, when you add them, these 2 masses along with these 3 masses, they will balance the system because of this theory. Okay, so we have gone one step ahead and understood how to transfer the masses in the reference plane. Transfer means not physically transfer. By mathematically, we can imagine like this, that something like this if it is done, then the balancing will take place. Now we will see how this is done. So see, we are trying to understand it step by step. We try to understand the concept, then we try to go nearer to the actual case. So we have understood something more. Now we will go further ahead and try to see how this is done, because till the time we don't see how the physical masses are added, we will not get ourselves convinced. Finally, what we understand is there is a shaft which is supported somewhere and it is rotating. On that shaft there are 3 places, some masses are there. We want to balance, and for balancing somebody will suggest that these are the 2 masses which will balance if you keep them at certain distance. So these 2 masses at certain distance, where they will be located so that the 3 masses and those 2 masses, total 5 together, will balance the system. So that we have to do. For doing that, we have tried to understand this theory. So knowing the theory now, let us go further and see how this is applied by actually adding the 2 masses at a particular place. So let's see how that is done. So till that time, whatever is discussed, you can jot this down. Then we'll go further ahead and try to learn how to manage with this reference plane. Now let us see this is implemented. The theory what we have learned earlier, how that is implemented. So let's take one example like this, where there is a shaft with a support, proper support, and then somewhere here there is M1 at a distance R1, here there is M2 at a distance R2, and we are asked to provide balance masses in this plane and somewhere here. This is plane L and this is plane M. So there is a balance mass M L and M M. So in the reference plane A, you are asked to provide balance mass MA. In the reference plane B, in this place somewhere here, you are asked to provide B. That means where to put this balance masses, that is decided. That put balance mass somewhere here, put the second balance mass somewhere here, and here now we have to find out. Maybe I'll write whatever is given. So given M1, M2, R1, R2, and find A, mass A and mass B, where RB is also given, RA and RB also are given. That means at what distance you are going to put this mass, that is given, because a lot of variables are not possible. So only masses you have to find out. The rest everything is given to us. Even various distances are also given. Whatever distances you require, all these are available. Okay. So I just write L. L all. All the L distances are known to us. How much is this? How much is this? Everything is known. Only the balance masses, M and MA in this plane, how much? MB in this place, how much? That is to be found out. And by making use of whatever is learnt earlier. Now see, this is how this is done. There is of course omega, but then omega is not required. So I have not mentioned here. Even if it is given, it will not be of any use. So how this problem is solved? This problem is solved by starting with making a table. So let me make that table, which will consist of, you can write down, mass, radius, distance. So mass is by M, R is L. So this is M into R. This is M into R into L. So now what we do is, we write here M1. So this magnitude mass, so many kgs mass is given to you in the data that we write here. That is at a distance R1 which is given right here. M2 second mass, distance R2 here. Then MB balance mass to be put at RB. I'll write A. So here, what all things are given and what are not given. Is there known, this is known, this is known, this is known. Only these two things are unknown at the moment. What more? Now distance. Now distance is something, we are of course all the distances are there, but what distance we are going to take, that will depend on some certain thing. Now see what we do. We decide that this is reference plane. That means where you want to place a mass, that plane is considered as a reference plane as an assumption. You can even make this also reference as a reference plane, either this or this. Let us make this plane A as a reference plane. Now by doing this, see what has happened. Now let us measure the distances of different masses from the reference plane. So we will call these distances L1. Distance of M1 from reference plane. Now distance of M2, see I will just show this much. Distance of this mass from reference plane, we will call this distance as L2. From reference plane to mass number 2. Similarly, distance from reference plane of this balanced mass, we will call that as LB. LB. This is LB. So the distances of all the three masses, two masses are there given, and this is a balanced mass to be found out. So all the three masses, their distance from the reference plane we measured as per the given data. Everything is given, but then these distances we will take as per what we need. And here we are going to put those distances. So now what we do? From the reference plane, M1 is at what distance? L1. From the reference plane, M2 is at what distance? L2. From the reference plane, MA is at what distance? 0, because a reference plane is passing from MA. From the reference plane, what is the distance of MB? LB. So what will happen is, these distances are also known. So whatever is tick marked, everything is known to us. Only these two things are not known. Now see what happens next. Can you find out M into R? That means this into this multiplication, can you carry out? Yes. So you can calculate this. M1 into R1, write the figure M1 into R1. M2 into R2, yes. So you can find out this figure and write it here. Now MB into RB, you will be not finding this. This is a number, but this is not a number. It's unknown, so it will be some number into MB. So this is basically unknown quantity. And this is MARA. So this also is unknown. So I'll just show here that this is known, this whole thing is known, this whole thing is known, but this is not known. This is not known. Because of MB and RB, although RA and RB are known, but this is not known, so that this is not a number still. This is a number containing MA. This is a number containing MB. Now let us try to do that here. M into R into L. This into this into this. So M1, R1, L1, all the three numbers are there. So you can find out this magnitude. Again, this also you can find out. So this is a number. This again is a number. This into this into this. Can you find out? MA is not known. But not known into RA into 0. Can you find out? Yes. This will be definitely 0. Whatever is the mass, although we don't know how much it is, whatever it is, when you multiply this by 0, it is going to be 0. So we can definitely write 0 here. Then here, MB, RB, LB. So out of all this is a number which we know. This is a number which we can see and know. This is also a number 0, but this is something which is not known. Okay, so up to here it is straightforward, simple thing we are done. Without thinking much, what is this done and what we have done earlier. So what we have done earlier, we have understood that. What we have done here, we have understood this. How this is related to that, that is now to be done. So now we have to relate what is done here with what is learned earlier. Here what we have done is, whatever data was given, that data we have put in certain form and found out certain numbers. Now see, Uh, what is the centrifugal force? M into R into omega square. And what is the couple? Couple is force into distance. So it is M into R into L into omega square. As a general formula, we can write like this. Force is this, couple is this. Now since omega is not going to change, it is constant. So omega you can remove. And we can bring it down here. So it is F upon omega square equal to MR. And C upon omega square is MRL. I just brought omega square here. So M into R is this. MRL is this. That means whatever is written here, M into R is force upon omega square. That means this whatever is written is similar to F1. This is similar to F1. This is similar to F2. This is similar to whatever is force here. M into R is force upon omega square. So M1 into R1 is F1 upon omega square. So this is indirectly showing you what is F1. And so on, this is indirectly showing you what is C1. So now if that is the case, what this whole thing tells us is, if these three couples, this is a couple C1, C2 and I'll write here C1, C2 and this is CB. So now you try to bring into picture what is done earlier. We have drawn one reference plane before this and brought all the forces in the reference plane. We have brought all the couples in the reference plane. So in the reference plane there were certain number of forces and certain number of couples. So now what is happening is something similar we are doing here. What we have done? We have measured the distances, calling this as a reference plane, and then this MRL, what we found out, M into R into L, that is like finding out the couple. So if you remember earlier, in the reference plane we have shown couples. So these couples, whatever shown there, they are these three couples. So in this case situation, in the reference plane, there are going to be these three couples. And what we want to happen is, in spite of these three couples, there should not be any unbalanced couple. That means the net result of all the three couples should be 0. Out of that, this couple we know magnitude. Now the magnitude of this couple we know. The magnitude of third couple is containing unknown MB. The other two things are known, distances and radius. But this is unknown as a quantity because of MB. That means if you adjust this MB in such a way that this vector and this vector, these three vectors are forming a closed figure, then that means these three couples are balancing each other. So what we now do is, we say that let us find out the sum of all this. So summation of M I, R I, L I, and we want this to be 0. We want the summation of all these to be 0. Now, if you look in this direction, say direction D, that means if you try to draw the side view of this figure, let me try to draw the side view of this figure here. So I'll write here view D. See, when you write, if you keep some, say I have written this information on the right side, so there is no space. So when you write, that time maybe you can keep some space here, so that you can draw this side view here itself. That is, you can say left hand side view here. But now there is no space, so I am drawing it here. So what will be the side view of this? That is given to us. This is also given. Because the positions of the masses are given, even the side view shows their angular position. So maybe M1 is somewhere here. And M2 is somewhere here, which is given. R1, R2, and what is more important is theta 1 and theta 2 is given. So the side view shows where are these two masses at certain angle. Remember, this is just a representation. So now what we say? We are now going to say that C1 and C2 and CB should form a closed polygon. So I am now, first what we now do is to draw couple polygon. So now our objective is to draw a couple polygon. That means we have to draw a polygon such that polygon means draw a figure consisting of three vectors. Draw a figure consisting of these three vectors such that these three vectors, that means these three lines, will form a closed figure. So that means that these three couples have got a net result as 0. One couple, second couple, third couple coming to the starting point, meaning net is 0. So how do we do that? See, this here have got some magnitude. So you set some scale. You know how to set a scale. You have to represent this much. This could be any random big figure, 55,000, whatever, depending on the magnitude. So that figure you have to represent by certain centimeters, a line of certain centimeters or millimeter. So we write here 1 millimeter or 1 centimeter equal to so and so. So that is the scale you have to set, and then what you do is, now we have to draw this C1. Now as you know, where is F1 here? F1 will be here. Then F2 will be here. This is F1, this is F2. Similarly, this is C1, C2. Where will be C1? We have seen last time it is 90 degrees in this direction. But then now what we will do for convenience, because we are interested in relative position, so for convenience we don't go by 90 degrees, we will just keep it in the same direction. Whatever is the direction of F1, in the same direction we will keep C1, although in reality C1 is 90 degrees in the clockwise direction. So right now C1 is also here, assumption. So what we do is, from some starting point we draw a line which is going to represent C1 making angle theta 1. So here we make an angle theta 1 and draw one line this is representing C1. C1 means this length, this magnitude we have converted into certain length.